I'm Dr. Angela McBurdy of DoctorFlute.com, and today's flute tip is on using your practice time wisely. If you've watched some of my flute tip videos, you'll see that I have some videos on using short periods of time to get a lot of practice in, like using 30 minutes to practice everything in your solo or practice your etudes, but doing your tone and your technique and your etude and your solo practice. Do everything all in one little period. That is kind of what I'm talking about today, but what I want to zero in on is when you have very limited time, what should you practice? Now, I always think that you should go through some scales. You have to get warmed up, and you can do that in your solos. But today I want to talk about when you're looking at your solo and you say, I don't have a lot of time. I know my college students are very busy, as we all are. I mean, it doesn't matter. College students think they own the really busy schedule. They have no idea, really, in real life, what busy really looks like. But when they're going from class to class and they have extra rehearsals because they're in the pit orchestra for the musical at the college, and they're just so many things, preparing for recitals, preparing for concerts, preparing for other people's recitals that they're playing in, practice time becomes a real problem. And what do you do with a 15-minute time period? So I want to tell you that you need to zero in on what is a problem in your piece. If I were to practice the cantabile presto and I have very limited time, that I'm going to take, this is by UNESCO, I'm going to take some 16th note passage that I know my fingers don't get wrapped around easily and say, that's all I'm going to do in my 15 minutes right now. It's going to be all I get in. I'm not even going to worry about tone. I'm not going to worry about anything other than, you know, what can I do with, I don't know, 8 to 10 measures in 15 minutes and make myself move forward in learning that passage, that if I didn't do it, if I skipped it altogether because I said I have 15 minutes, I can't do anything in 15 minutes, and then the next day I pick up maybe where I left off 2 days ago. But you can do something in 15 minutes. So if I were to take this part of the presto, I played that really slow, like, okay, so say my fingers were not doing that very well. That's what I'm going to do. And you know what? I'm going to do it with all my Taffanel and Gobert articulations. I'm going to put the metronome on and I'm going to play it slowly. And I'm not going to worry about repetitive notes and how does that work if I'm slurring 3 and tonguing 1. And then I'm going to go through it and tongue 1 and slur 3. Now, if I'm clever about this, I will think about how my embouchure is playing these notes, and am I keeping this loose, and am I opening up, and what is my throat doing? So I can kind of make it a tone exercise at the same time, but that's really not my concern. I don't want to get tight. So I'm going to make sure that's not happening in here, that it's getting tighter. I'm also making sure that I don't just say, okay, I've only got 15 minutes, and just slop through it, because that's your fear of not getting anything accomplished is going to make you not get anything accomplished. So you need to look at this, take these passages and play them really slowly. You will learn it better. Slow always gets you faster. It always works. I'm going to play it slow, use my articulations, use my metronome. I might want to add that trill on the end just to help my finger learn how to go as fast as I can go. Another part that I think is always a little bit tricky is right after that. right before that low C sharp. But that one is tricky because we play it in triplets. It's not really in triplets, it's really in 4. So you know what's going to help me make that in my head learn it better is if I put it in groups of 4. So I'm going to do this. And play it in groups of 4. Now, what if I did that slur 3, tongue 1? What that does, and it's even messing with me right now, is it makes your eyes look at it differently. You see notes you didn't see before. We just saw it in those triplet kind of, because the slurs are groups of 3, even though they're 16th notes and they're in 4. Now, if I switch that up, tongue 1, slur 3, slur 2, tongue 2, boy, am I ever going to learn this really well. 15 minutes is going to go a long way into learning this little passage, and it's going to keep my lip warmed up. You know, just as an aside, even if you have rehearsals, I remember when I was in the orchestra playing principal in an orchestra, we would have 2.5, 3-hour rehearsals at night. The week of a concert, we'd have it Monday, Tuesday, and a little bit of a rehearsal Wednesday, and then the concert. And that would not keep me in shape. I remember realizing that, wow, my day I was a college professor, so I was busy all day long, pretty much grab some supper, drive an hour and a half to the rehearsal where I would be there for a couple hours, drive home, do it all the next day, 3 days in a row. And what would happen is I felt like I got more out of shape. But when I had time and I could actually give a good slow warm-up in the day, I found that I didn't feel as weird. I didn't feel like I was getting out of shape. So that doesn't have to do with this topic, but I just want to add that in there. As college students, they think because they have rehearsals all day long, rehearsals at night, rehearsals during the day, they have a lesson, that counts as practice time. And well, it's good. It's great. I'm not going to say that's not a good thing to do, but it's not really practicing on the things that matter. So use your time. When you only have a tiny bit of time and you think, oh, I can't get anything done, you can actually get something done. Find a spot that needs work in your solo, even if it's 2 measures. Work on that for those 15, even 10 minutes, and you'll be so happy that you did, because you will progress, you'll have practiced, your head will feel good because you actually did it, and you didn't skip that day because you didn't have any time. So let's use our time wisely, because we know it's fleeting. We get busier and busier as time goes by, and it's very hard to get that practice time in. But if we use it wisely, we can progress and really do a good job. So have fun using your time wisely. That's today's flute tip.